Yo peeps, Phoenix back again with another slightly different video, I want to say. As you guys would have seen, I started playing Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and obviously by the thumbnail you obviously know why we're here. I'm here to talk about that game, but I wanted to do it a bit different. So instead of all playthroughs going up unedited, how I've done with FF16 and started to do with this one, instead all the games that I've wanted to play that are just in the back burner or not a new release, I'm gonna do like this from a casual's perspective in comments, right? Now, to give you guys a kind of a breakdown as to what I mean by casual, it doesn't mean that I just play games on and off. No, I do play a lot of games. It's actually quite, I want to say bad, but it's not bad. I play games, so the fuck what. But what I mean by casual is I'm not someone that plays all these games thinking that I need to do 100% of everything. I need to touch every nook and cranny of the game, see every cutscene, all that stuff, right? I'm majority of the time, as long as I've started the game, seen the end, that's good enough for me, unless the game is really good and got me in a chokehold. A good example to give you guys an idea, Spider-Man, when that first came out on PS4, I 100% of that game, got the platinum, all that, and I'll more than likely do that for Spider-Man 2 if it's just as good. But yeah, the game has to get me in a chokehold in a way where I continuously play it and don't play anything else. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's talk about the game that you are seeing on the screen now, which is Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. God damn this game, man. Now again, before I start talking about it, this isn't a serious review of the game, like, you know, proper here's a rating and all that. I'll give it a rating at the end, but this is just more so my opinion. People that are like me, that just like to play games, not necessarily see everything but still see the end, maybe you'll get something out of this. But yeah, I'm not 100%er, so this is just from my perspective and what I played through as a whole. Now, before I talk about my opinion, might as well break down what this game is. What is it about? How does it play out? So essentially, you play Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 2 fame. However, he is very different in this game compared to that one, in the sense of he is now a robot ninja that has his own PMC, doing his own jobs in the world of Metal Gear. Now, the overall premise is that essentially there's some bad people that want to keep war going in underdeprived countries, so they can keep their pockets filled, they stay rich, all that good stuff. Whereas, as we all know, pretty bad stuff. Not all the world wants that shit. So guess what? There's people like in the game that exist that try to stop this from happening. So that's the overall premise. Raiden's here, he's looking after a president, some shit goes down. I'll play the cutscene in the footage now, so you can see the opening cutscene to see how it all goes down right at the beginning. But essentially, you're a president's bodyguard and you're there to basically keep him alive because he wants to keep peace, all that good stuff, right? That's the overall essential premise of the game. Now, while this story is happening, yes, you can take control as Raiden with his sick ass fucking electric sword. I always thought like it was strange in the first scene where he opens the case and the sword's just floating. That just didn't make sense to me, but who cares? It's anime as shit. It looks cool as fuck, so hell yeah. Plus, he fucking, all the cutscenes where he's slicing up walls and stuff, and because of that system, which I'll talk about in a sec, it looks sick as fuck. So yeah, you take control of Raiden. You basically start off with a sword and you are a robot ninja slicing up some enemies, essentially, right? As you play through the game, you start to collect new weapons, but the weapons, it's not like a game where you complete a level, you get a weapon. No, all the weapons are related to a boss that you kill. So they all use a specific weapon. Once you kill them, you essentially get the weapon that they were using to whoop your ass with, essentially, right? Now let's talk about the pacing as a whole. How did the game go down? How long is the game? All that good stuff, right? Now I will say this, I loved this game, and you'll see it in my review. I'll explain and break down how reviews will work for this type of thing. But I fucking love this game. This game is sick as fuck. However, it is short as hell. I believe by the time I finished the game, it was like 4 hours, 31 minutes, something like that, which is pretty poor. I was expecting way more game from this, especially with all the stuff that you're doing, but I understand there's a lot of cutscenes. Like, the story plays out fine. Like, you beat some bosses, you meet some people, there's some cool characters. Jetstream Sam, but he is the best in the game, 100%. But yeah, overall it feels so like it could have been more, but at the same time I understand why it's the length it is based on what's going on. Now let's talk about bosses and levels as a whole. So levels, they're okay. I mean, it's typical action hack and slash stuff. You fight some enemies, clear the area, it then allows you to move on to the next area. You clear some enemies, so on and so forth. You fight a boss at the end, or you get to the end of the level's done. I think what makes this game super unique in terms of combat, because it's not just the typical press X, press Y, you do a bunch of cool shit. There's this thing called blade mode, where essentially you press the button, it goes in slow-mo, you can slice anything into pieces. You can do it manually with the right stick, or you can just hammer X and Y to slice the hell out of shit. Now again, what makes this super unique is that it plays into how you defeat enemies. So for example, you start to find out that you can cut certain body parts up, like specifically a specific area, and one of like the areas that you should be cutting up regularly, but it will give you a notification. You'll see it when you go into blade mode, their arm will go green. That lets you know that you want to slice off their arm and not destroy it, because again, you get upgrades, things like that, right? It's not just that. If you beat someone up to a certain point, the screen will kind of go slow-mo for about a split second. It will also discolor a bit and go a little bit blue, and that lets you know press the blade button essentially. And as soon as you do that, you basically get a weak point of the enemy to slice up in blade mode. If you do that, you can then press B and it will do an execution type move, kind of like how Doom has when they flash and then you press the melee button and you do an execution. Same thing here. It's just with the execution in this game, once you do get to the point you slice the right area, the execution button appears. You'll do the sickest flip or whatever, grab their spine, what looks like a spine, but it's not, it's just a bunch of blue shit. But you grab their spine and then explode it in your hand, and then you've got full health and a full limit bar, which I'll talk about next actually. So the limit bar is essentially how you do this blade mode. You have to have that bar with some type of capacity in it in order for you to activate blade mode, but it's not just made for that as well. As you progress through the game, you learn this basically, I don't know what it's called, it's like Jack the Ripper mode. I'll fling up a clip of him activating this shit and what actually happens, how he gets this mode.
What are you saying? I'm saying Jack is back. Doctor, turn off my pain inhibitors.
What? This is madness. You
do it.
All right.
Pain. This is why I fight. This is my normal, my nature.
You've lost your mind.
Who's next?
But essentially it's rage mode. You do a lot more damage, and you're slightly faster in some of your moves. overall, it's just basically rage mode. You click this button, you're basically OP. Now, one thing I want to make very apparent is this game is stupid hard for no reason, right? And I'll show you in the in this clip here, right, where if you've been watching the channel, you would have seen this in the part 1 playthrough that I put up, but it's no longer up. But essentially, I talk myself out of setting it to hard mode, which I am super happy I did, because if it was on hard mode, yeah, I think I would still be playing this game now. Trying to not remember any. Oh no, do we do hard mode? The thing is, peeps, yeah, so even though I finished FF16, I've still been playing it in the background because of the announcement of the DLC. So I've been trying to just hammer through Final Fantasy mode, which is their hard mode. Oh, do I want to play this on hard? Do you know what? No, I'm going to play normal because I actually want to see the end of this game. And then once I did talk myself out of that, which I am super glad I did, the game is hard for no reason. Like, if I had to change anything in this game, I would change the way you parry stuff and just give you a dodge. Like, there are so many moments in this game where you wish you had a dodge. For example, the end boss, there's a move he does where he basically just, you can't even see, the camera pans to the air and you see 2 metal arms that are literally going to destroy you by slamming the ground. There's no way for you to dodge it. I tried running, and as soon as it's about to land, skid out the way. I literally tried everything and it didn't work. Now, it might just be that I'm arse at the game and I wasn't able to dodge it, but also within this same boss fight, there's a bit where he slices across the screen, but the way he does it is there's a slight gap for you to go through. So if you press the run button in the game, it puts you in what's called ninja run, and it's supposed to like vault over or vault through things if you're in ninja run. Didn't happen every time. It was like bits and pieces of that happening. Very frustrating. So if I had to change anything, my first change would be add a dodge and change the way you parry. Not to say that it's bad, it's just, it's so, if you don't do it right, you're fucked, essentially. And again, I'll throw up a few clips in the background for you to see me fucking up a parry. Now, other things I didn't like about this game: 1, it was too short, this parry and dodge. 3 would be the pacing seemed a little off, and what I mean by this is when the cutscenes were happening, there were cutscenes that lasted like 10 minutes, and then there's cutscenes that literally last 2 seconds that weren't even needed. They could have just kept it in game, said the words, and then kept it moving. Now, I understand, because it is a Metal Gear game, cutscenes are a big thing, the codex calls are a big thing, all of that plays a part with how you understand the story, which I understand. It just felt that it was a bit off in pacing at some points. Like the end, again, the end boss fight, you're sitting there for about 10 minutes watching a cutscene before you actually fight the end boss fight. And it was even worse, is that it was taking so long that I thought it was the end of the game, and then it just cuts into, oh shit, now you got to fight the president guy. Like, what the fuck? So that kind of threw me off as well. It was something else that I didn't like. The other thing I didn't like, and I've mentioned it earlier, is this freaking ninja run. This ninja run is the worst thing ever. And again, you can see here in this next clip me trying to jump over a gap, and I fall about 10 times. And it's not down to me. I am not that bad. I'm not even gonna say I'm not that bad. I am not bad at games in general. This is just, this ninja run just doesn't do what you need it to do. Simple as that.
Think of the data, the research. Oh, and of course, your personal safety was a concern as well.
Yeah, alright, bro. Blatant lie. A drum can, so what, I can hide in drum cans now as well. I mean, I'm not doing no sneaking game. Whether you keep giving these things to me, but I'm not going to be using them. Okay, where the fuck did we go? Oh, we got to go over there. Do I have to use a drum can, or can I like...
HQ, we could use some support. Roger that. Sending backup.
Right.
Oh my.
Answer me.
What is this fucking? Oh my days. Ninja run, please. Ninja run, please. Bro, get off the fucking. Oh my god. The thing is, I have to ninja run to get up here. Right.
HQ, we could use some support. Roger that. Sending back up.
Bruh. Now, in terms of if there was anything else I didn't like, I think that's pretty much it. I liked, like, that's all I didn't like about the game. The only other thing is the resolution options, like unless you are good with mods and things like that, you might find it hard to get it to work in borderless correctly and then running in the right resolution. So I had to use mods, a HD texture pack and all that to make it look a bit better, as well as a mod so I could set it to 1440p, which actually worked pretty well. So if you've got the technical know-how, you will have no problems running this game, because yes, I played this game on PC and there's quite a good mod community for it, which is surprising. It's quite an old game, but that might be something else that I would change, would be just given more options for resolution and things like that. But I understand it's an old ass game, I get it. Now let's talk about all the stuff that I did like. Now, one of the main things that I liked in this game is the fucking music. Now, I'm gonna say this, I'm not a massive rock and roll fan. I don't listen to metal on my off days. Like, I'm not that guy. If you look to my Spotify playlist, it's mainly trap, R&B, hip hop, and then I have a separate gaming music playlist for all different game soundtracks and things like that, right? The music in this game goes ham, especially when you're fighting bosses. Like, again, I'll throw up a clip here and you'll see me trying my hardest to sing along. I hope I recorded it. I might not have done, but I'll put the clip anyways, because the song goes ham. This tune is going in for this fight. Oh my god. But yeah, you're fighting some boss and the song's playing, the person's singing, it's going in, I'm slicing people. Oh, it was just so sick. So yeah, 10, like maybe not 10, I'll probably give like an 8, maybe a 9 to the music alone, but just because the music fits the type of game it is so perfectly. So 100%, as soon as I played this game, most of the soundtrack went into my gaming playlist without a shadow of a doubt. And plus, when you're in blade mode and the music's playing and you're slicing, bitch, oh, it's so fucking sick. So music number 1, 100% I liked. Number 2 would be the combat overall. Like, I liked the idea that your weapons were linked to your heavy attack. So essentially X would be your light and then Y would be your heavy. But then if you didn't have the extra weapon on your heavy attack, he would still use the sword as a heavy. So he'd like put the sword in his feet and shit and spin it around. You can like knock people in there, do air combos and shit like that. But yeah, overall the combat itself, yeah, good stuff. And that's what you kind of expect from Platinum. Like, they knock it out of the park when it comes to this stuff. Another bit, set pieces. Yes, quick time events and button prompts can be annoying sometimes, but when you're seeing a guy slice a Metal Gear in half, or you beat the ass out of the boss and then the boss is so destroyed that when you get in his face you press the blade button, it goes into slow motion and you slice them up into little pieces, and that shit is sick as fuck. Yes, they're all set pieces and some of them are a bit like, oh, this didn't need to be a button prompt, you could have just let me fight it out. But nope, I don't care, keep them in there. It was hype as fuck seeing Raiden do this crazy ass shit. Plus, I don't think you'd be able to pull off the same sort of effect as well if it was a player that you would play through. So I get the reason as to why it was put as a button prompt, but it fits it perfectly for what you're doing in the shots, 100%. Other things I liked, customization's pretty good, I guess, for an action game. You get a lot of variety of weapons. There's quite a few different suits, and I always thought that the suits were cosmetic, but no, they're actually related to your They have stats, so one suit lets you carry more meds, one suit lets you do more damage, things like that. So that was pretty good in my opinion. I thought it was pretty good, especially for an action game that's quite short. Weapons feel good. I ended up using mostly the sword, but I was partial to the I don't know what the weapon's called, what Melina uses from Mortal Kombat, those things, or Raphael from Ninja Turtles, that weapon, I can't remember what it's called, but that was pretty sick. As well as the pole, which is basically a bunch of robotic arms holding it together, which is a sick idea but also very impractical. What else? The only thing I would say else that I would enjoy, yeah, set pieces were good, bosses were good, action was good, even the story to a certain extent. Yes, it's a bit generic, but in fact what I'll do is I'll put up like 2 or 3 of my favorite bits within the story, which I thought was like, this is fucking crazy, but it is sick as fuck. Even the meme ones I'll put in as well. But yeah, I now understand, I now get it and understand why people say this is a cult classic just from playing through. Like, there's so many one-liners, so many iconic scenes. Jetstream Sam is a vibe the whole way through. Like, oh, so good. Now let's talk. That's overall my thoughts, right, peeps? I didn't want to go too ham into like a full breakdown. Like I said, this is just me voicing my opinions. And I'll be honest, I was going to write a script to a certain extent, but as I was writing it, I thought, nah, fuck that. I'd rather just do it live and direct. This is no filter, this is unedited, this is just me talking random shit about how I thought about this game, and I think I'm going to keep these videos in the same vein. But yeah, this is just me spitballing what I thought. Now again, because it's a short one, I didn't want to keep this too long. What is my overall thoughts of the game as a whole? Would I recommend it? What would I rate it? And we'll talk about how we're going to rate games in this system in a sec, right? Would I recommend this game? 1,000,000% yes. Now, there are some road bumps. It's not the easiest of games, and especially for people that don't really play action hack and slash games, you will probably find some of this stuff hard. Like, the game expects you to use all of the mechanics, which is quite rare for an action game. Most action games, you just whoop some ass, press the button over and over again, and you win, right? Whereas this game expects you to use all of the mechanics in the game. If you don't, you're going to keep dying over and over again. And I know this for a fact because the final fight took me about 2 hours to do. And again, this hurt my feelings, but surprisingly, peeps, as I'm recording this now, I finished the game last night. We're now at the next day, right? And as I was playing the final scene, the boss had 0.01% health left. My cat decided that he wanted to stand on my computer, but while he did that, he turned it off at the same time. So again, I'll throw up the clip, but you'll see that I was whooping ass, and then out of nowhere it just stops, and it's all thanks to my cat. So thank you very much to Charla for making me do the boss pretty much 3 times in a row. Although that doesn't count for the fact of the amount of times that I died. Yes, I died a lot. It was hard. I told you this game is fucking hard, and I don't know why. Now, yeah, would I recommend this game? 100%. Is it for everybody? Probably not. It's quite out there. It's very anime. There's a lot of random one-liners and random shit that goes on that doesn't really make sense, but it looks cool as fuck. So I will say it's not for everybody, but I would suggest anybody that has an inkling to like action hack and slash games, give it a try. I promise you, if you're a fan of the genre, you will love this game 1,000,000%. It is good. Now, in terms of what this rating is, how are we going to rate these games? So I thought about this, and I think the best way, because again, this is just my personal opinion, this is not anything official, this is just what I thought of the game. I'm going to do it on a basis of 1 to 5, 1 being shit, would not recommend, 5 being the best of the best, top tier, all that good stuff. Where would Metal Gear Rising Revengeance sit in this? I would be happy to give this, I think a 3 is too low because it's better than average, and a 5 is too good because yes, all the problems I have do affect the game quite a lot, so it can't get a 5. And I think 4 might be a bit too... Nah, I'll be happy. We'll give it a 4. 4 out of 5, I will say. I'd recommend it. I'm more than likely going to play this game again after a couple years when I forget, just for bants, because yeah, it is crazy. And again, the combat is really good. It make me want to come back. So I'd give it a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. But yeah, peeps, this has just been me voicing my opinion of what I thought of Metal Gear Rising. And like I said, this isn't going to be every video. All like new release games, me and OG are going to still put them up as full playthroughs, more than likely unedited how it's been before. So yeah, look out for Spider-Man 2. OG will be doing that playthrough, won't be me this time, so yeah, look forward to that. I think the next game that I'm gonna try, I ain't gonna tell you yet, you'll just have to wait and see. I'm always playing something in the background, but not everything I want to talk about. This game I wanted to talk about because yeah, it's a cult classic, and surprisingly enough, I enjoyed it from beginning to end, as much as that final boss was frustrating as hell. So I did want to talk about this one. But yeah, you know what to do, peeps. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Actually, let me know what you think about this format of video. It'd be nice to know if I'm doing a good job or not. So yeah, let me know. Yeah, leave a like, all that good stuff. And as always, peeps, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.